Well, good afternoon, everybody. Am I on time? Did I set this for 4:30? Am I early? Honestly, I can't remember anything before now. Hey, Joanne Hawley. Hey, mods. Thank you for being here, mods. Joel Sachs made it. I love that. I'm going to scroll down. Brian Boland. I hope you got my email back. I wrote you back that night, and I'm sorry that I didn't get back to you sooner. I felt bad. Every time somebody emails me and they're like, Reese, did you get that email? And it takes me months. It stings every time, and I'm sorry. Linda Garden Lady, Pat Jonas is here. I better hurry. I'm going to get stuck up here. Hey, Liz Triggs. Diana H is here. Just Joan made it. Rachel Stone is Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl made it. I always get her confused with Rachel Sandy, and I want to say, and then I recognize it and say, oh, it's Squirrel Girl. Jennifer Ogle. You're moving and it's stressful. I don't think you're lying. Moving is absolutely awful. Marie Marion made it. Hey, Armine. Did you guys see that short that I put up last night right before I went to bed? Seamus looked like he died. Hey, Buffy. Bohemian Luciferian Witch. Ewa's here. Angie Moe. Alicia. I'm glad that you're here today, Alicia. Honestly, I am. Hey, Puka Vista, it's her birthday. It's Puka Vista. There's a lot of birthdays today, like close friends of mine. Puka Vista. Robin W. I bet she's not here, but today is her birthday. My friend Lisa's birthday is today. Who did I see that was famous? Somebody famous has it. There's a lot of birthdays today, but happy birthday, Puka Vista. I'm honored that you're here on your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hey, Kathy Burkhart. Yeah, just Joan. Hey, Linda, you're in pain. I am so sorry to hear that, babe. Please don't stick around if you can't. Don't take care of you first, always. And I'm sorry that you're in pain. There's Rachel Sandy. Thank you. It's really cold. Robin Miners, Linda Gillum, Sherry LeBrun, welcome in. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Sorry. Sherry LeBrun, I'm happy to see you. Hey, Carrie Wilson. He did, Buffy. He looked so cute. Sniffles, are you getting sick? No, but I am having allergies, which is weird because it's freezing outside. Why? Why are we having allergies? Hey, Lumen. Wendy R., I'm glad that you came back today for this. Hey, Jojo. I know you got to go to bed. Hey, Renee B. So happy I got my sweater and necklace from Southern Goods. That store is the best. We talked about you today. So I went for lunch to a new place next to them with my mom. And I went in and saw Ellie today and the baby, and she talked about you and the stuff that you got. She talked about Robin Miners. Robin, thank you for ordering. She talked about Teresa and Holly too. Everybody, thank you for ordering. Holly is here with a really cute new purse. She was worried that you hadn't received it. And I said, I think she would have told me or you or one of us. Guys, that was overwhelming how much you supported them. So thank you for doing that. Hey, Catherine B. Oh my God, Angie Moe, he was so cute. Tracy with a T. The cats are fighting. Jeff Bridges' birthday is today. I love Jeff Bridges. I always thought he was a fantastic actor. And he always seemed like he would be a cool guy just in the wild. He seems like he would be really kind. Hey, Mimi. Thanks, Wendy. I'm already getting hot, though. I've been wearing this all day, and now I'm warm. Hey, I've got words. Yeah, the heater kicking on will blow stuff into the air. That makes sense, Liz. Okay, so is this a goat on my sweater, Holly? I'm so glad you got it. So my mom got this in the Anthro sale. Hey, baby steps, but it's a one size, so it's way too big for her. I went and looked at the reviews. She gave it to me, but it's supposed to be dogs. And if you go read the reviews, people were like, "Don't get it. It's like deformed, weird animals." Yeah, I don't think that looks like a dog. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. They're everywhere. And it's cute. I don't care. I don't mind. I like it. Like, I don't care at all. There's dogs all over. Like, it's really thick and it has a little tie here, but it's a one size. And so, I mean, it's roomy for me and it is thick. It's almost jacket like, but I thought it was cute. And I paired it with this sweater because it was freezing today. This is that sweater I got a long time ago at Southern Goods. But I was like, thank you. I still think it's cute. Hey, Jessamine, I feel like I haven't seen you. Melting dogs. Yeah, Helena, it's weird. They're weird. They're not right. But I don't care about that. I love animals. Doesn't matter to me. Your dad looks like Jeff Bridges. That's crazy. I love Jeff Bridges. You hope you didn't miss too much yesterday. I hope you had fun with your family. Baby steps. It was a wonderful stream. Yesterday was a really, thank you, Linda Garden Lady. Yesterday was a truly, I was really in the zone yesterday. I feel some days I kind of wander and I'm all over the place. And actually, that's probably most days. Yesterday, I felt like was a really good stream. We stayed on topic the whole time. Jessamine, I noticed, and I've missed you. Reese, please read my post. I don't have cancer. Praise the Lord. I have a pigeon disease, and it turned out to MRSA and pneumonia. I have to be careful because I can catch a lot of things. Oh my God, is that permanent? Is that forever? Or is that like they're going to find a cure for that? Or there is a cure for that? I'm so sorry, Dawn, but I am very grateful that you don't have cancer. That's amazing. But it sounds similar to cancer where you have to be really, really careful because of your immune system. So I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, she says yes. That's great, Dawn. I mean, it's rare, okay? But still, I feel like it's amazing news to find out when you don't have cancer. I mean, that's like my biggest fear. Thank you for sharing that with the group, Dawn, and I'm happy. I'm happy that you're here. Yes, we are, Margie Barr. And I just felt like yesterday's stream was incredibly helpful and just on point. It was just a good stream, and I'm ready for this. Hey, Tammy, get out your heated blanket. So I hope that people will stick around for this stream. It's not an easy thing to discuss, but it is something I feel like I have to tackle. Hey, Kat. Some of you left some great comments in yesterday's stream and after the stream. And I just felt very supported by all of you. I want to say that. I don't think she's here today, but Teresa was really helpful yesterday. It's a huge blessing. Yeah, Dawn. An autoimmune disease is still scary, though. And I hope that they figure out, like, maybe so it won't be that way forever for you. I really hope it's not. Having anything, I feel very strongly about that with my stepdad having stage 4 cancer. Like, he has to be so careful, and I'm very protective of him about that. Like, not being around a lot of people, wearing a mask, wearing gloves, whatever he has to do. But I mean, he has a very, very weak immune system, which obviously for us could be a cold, for him could turn to pneumonia. So I understand. I don't know what it's like, but I understand, Dawn. Hey, DNV. So yesterday we spoke a little bit about, well, there's Kim is blue. I want to ask you guys something. What is the definition of a predator to you? Because Tommy and I were talking about it just for a brief, must have been a 3-minute phone call earlier. And he said predator for him usually like equals sexual. And for me, it does not. That is not where my mind goes when I think predator. So I wondered what everybody else thought. Like, where does your mind go when you hear the word predator? It's the only word that I can think of. Whine a little bit more. I'm really happy to see you, and I'm glad that you made it. Hey, Gracefulness 5. I just wondered what you guys think when you hear the word predator. Yeah, for sure, baby steps. Lumen says a stalker. See, I don't think stalker either, but I mean, it fits. I get it. That's why I'm asking. I wonder what you guys think. Hey, Susan Cook. Yeah, Susan Cook. And by the way, I hope you're healing, babe. Thank you for texting me the other day, the update. Hey, Viggy Cat. Rachel Squirrel Girl says, predator, anyone that seeks to take advantage. I like that. To me, a predator is looking for prey. They know what they're doing. I like that a lot, Cat. Hey, Debbie, I see it as someone who seeks to harm. I see that's where more my mind goes is Debbie, what Debbie Zito. Alicia says, person taking advantage of weakness. That's good. That's really good. Anyone who engages on psychological warfare. Wow, that's even better, honestly. Okay, purposeful abuser. Interesting. A person or group that robs, victimizes, or exploits others for gain. That's really good too. Someone who preys on another's vulnerability and takes advantage of them. That's my definition right there, Joanne. I feel like that's about what I think. Taking advantage of vulnerable, it can be sexual, but also mental. Yeah, I just think it's a very generalized, goes under the umbrella of a lot, and you're naming all of them. Serial unalivers count. I'm not sure I understand what that means. My mind normally goes to sexual context, but that's probably because of the context where I hear the word most often. See, that's not where my mind goes. Hey, Sandy Wandy, someone who preys on other people's vulnerabilities. That's where my mind goes, Joel Sachs. Mary Jean Fitzgerald, someone who manipulates, exploits, or harms others for their own gain. Often preying on vulnerability such as emotional distress or a power imbalance. That's really good. Hey, Rain. Rain, I'm glad you came today. Someone who means harm on someone or their property. That's really good. Wendy says, for me, it's someone who plans to attack, premeditated actions. Yes, for sure. All of these are really good. And all of these are true. A psychopath, sicko. Yeah. I just got here. What's the question? Hey, Sam, I was asking hey, Donna Cooper, where your mind goes when I say the word predator. What do you think when I say the word predator? Like, what does it mean to you? Tommy was saying earlier that usually he thinks sexual, like that's a sexual term. I don't go there with my mind. That's not what I think. I think more what everybody has been saying, and it's like someone who seeks to harm, someone who sees an opportunity and takes advantage of a weakness to harm someone. I mean, that's to me what a predator is. I never thought sexual when I thought predator. Now, I know it applies, but I didn't think that wasn't my go-to. Baby Steps just gifted 5 memberships, and that is really nice. Thank you, Baby Steps. I love when you guys gift memberships. People love that. Thank you for doing that, my friend. Someone who hunts other humans. That's terrifying. Predators can always target for nefarious purposes. Yes, everybody has been right. A monster, someone who preys on someone. Thanks, Shelly Kelly. Thank you, Rain. Yeah, I just, Kestrel, you finally got a membership. Wow. Thank you to Baby Steps for that. The preying on what is perceived to be vulnerable, weaker, able to manipulate is key. Yes, exactly. Someone who stalks and finds weakness and plans attacks when least expected. You guys are all way more in depth with your definition of it. I'm often that way. I give light, weaker, dumb definitions of things. Hey, Martin, it's the opposite of prey. Yeah. So my thoughts are just someone who seeks out weaknesses and takes advantage of them. They see it, they pounce on it. And honestly, Martin's right. I also feel like when I hear the word predator, I almost think animalistic. Like that's what they do. There's predator and prey, right? So I almost think of when you see like a cat, like getting down in the bushes, like getting ready to pounce. It's a predator. They're preying on it, right? They see an opportunity, they take it. Oh, wow. A person who ruthlessly exploits others. Wow. Kestrel's name is finally green. And so is Buffy's. Oh, Buffy has a membership though. Well, I'm happy for Kestrel. That's exciting. Hey, big guy. I know. It's too cold to go up to Graham. So, and I know that he says, but I'm a pood and I like the winter and I like the summer and I like it all. And he says, and I can handle it. I love the cold. And when it snows, I roll around in it. And we say, yeah, I get that, but nobody else likes it. Well, welcome in, kid. But nobody else likes it. And so he is a great person. Actually, Kim is Blue. Kim is Blue says you're a fantastic guy. Oh, why do you always burp in my face? Oh my God. Oh, you eat a pile of turds out in the yard and then you literally come up to me and just blow it in my face like my ex-husband. That's so gross. I feel like I'm sitting on an airplane right now next to Jeff after he snapped into a Slim Jim. Oh my God. Remember how I told you guys he would do that? He'd be like, and he'd like blow stomach acid at me. And I truly felt like just put me in the morgue. Hey, Hugs.
Yeah.
Can you close my door because your sister just blew through it like a boundary?
Yeah.
Thanks. No, he didn't eat turds. It just stinks. A heinous person. Let's see. A heinous person, usually narcissistic, whose only intention is to get their own needs met, regardless of the harm it causes others. Sam. So that's what I mean. Speaking of predators, your breath is predatorial. Your definitions, Gideon is right next to me. Your definitions are so much better than mine, but I think we all get in just real quick before we get into this topic. Buffet wanted to say hello. And what kind of hair is that anyway? That's hair that hasn't been brushed. And it's hair that is here for the season. It's the hay bales with hair. Really little. Did you know that you were going to be the small Gideon? Gideon, were you aware at all that you were never going to grow? Hey, Shell. Yeah, it's awful, Sam. Really quick, just saying hello to the crowd. And Gideon is still tiny. Gideon still hasn't grown at all. And she really wondered if the Lord was ever going to say, am I going to grow? Or no, Gideon, I don't think so. I think if you were born next to Christ 4,000 years ago, you're probably going to stay this size. It'd be my guess. But she says, there's always such a thing as a Christmas miracle. Hey, Melissa, did you think she could fit in a brushing? She's very busy and popular. Robin Miners, I asked her earlier and she said, I really wish that I could, but unfortunately I'm all booked up for December. I don't have time for brushes. I only have time for bones from DS Kitty Diane that she sent me. Hey, West Coast Fancy Nancy, really tiny and fun-sized, Wendy says. We're going to do our talk now. We'll see you. Oh, that's not any better. That's pretty smelly as well. Oh, my God, girl. Uh-oh, it's going to get weird. I start to get like Pepe Le Pew, and I start smothering her. Christ said, why mess with perfection? Wow, thanks. Ewa says I look early 90s today. Hey, Karen James. Well, we know this, that every morning when we get out of bed, the Lord says, oh, my me. Oh, my me, that is the most perfect creature I've ever designed. And then, your brother, Christ, JC, looks at his dad and he says, oh, my dad. Oh, my dad. I'm so glad that I was born next to that creature in the manger. I am blessed. Oh, really cute, though. Tawny! Your sister stole your chair, so you're going to have to go lay in your bed now. The potato. Yeah, the potato just stole the chair. So I want to get into this, and I don't have it prepared. I don't know what I want to say, quite honestly. Susan P., oh, my dad. Yeah, we made that up on the fly one day, and I haven't stopped saying it. Oh, my me. God looks down at Gertie all the time and goes, oh, my me. I can't believe I created that. Aspire to inspire. I'm happy to see you. Hey, Wendy Brewer. Karen James is Kaza. Thank you, Yadira, for correcting me on the names. I love when you do that. It helps. So I don't have a script prepared for this. Never had a script prepared in my life, but still, I'm not entirely sure where this stream is going to go. I just think yeah, she took your seat. I'm sure there's other chairs in this house. I don't know why you won't sit in those chairs. You do have a bed over there. So there are plenty of seats in the house. Do you think that you could find one? She looks incredibly offended right now. Incredibly. You have not planned ahead for a show? No, I don't have a script today, and that's really unusual. Punky, there's other seats. The problem is Hunky, if I just told you the whole time, we're going to get overheated. And then the Lord gets distracted. The Lord's trying to pay attention to our show as well. Oh. Christ is trying to watch our show. And what happens is they're watching too, and they're giving us views. And God says, oh my me, I'm so distracted, I can't watch. And then God looks at his son, and Christ looks at his dad and says, oh my dad, it's hard to pay attention with that little frosted mini wheat that you created. Oh. Yes, they do, Andy. He did, Renee B. I think he did. Huxley doesn't talk about his therapy sessions with me, but he says they go well. Hey, Reflections. I love to hear that, Wendy Brewer. I want a script. And could you also speak as if you're held at gunpoint without what the people expect from you? Hey, Meredith Lynn. Yeah, Martin, no problem. I don't think that's reaching for the stars. Not at all. Helena. So, hey, MLG Gamer. Who asked me at the end of yesterday's stream, Buffy, it's all your fault for asking to see, oh my God, she's asleep, for asking to see Gideon. Whoever asked me that, I really liked the question and I really liked the answer that I gave. And it's been sitting with me ever since. Somebody asked me at the end of yesterday's stream, if you saw Doug today, what would you say to him? Hey, Caroline in Canada. Buffy, you have no idea, girl. It's not even real. Joanne Hawley, did you ask me that? I think it was Joanne Hawley. And I remember Teresa saying that was a good question. Or she left a comment after the stream about it, I think. Joanne Hawley, you were full of really good questions yesterday. So was Wendy. I really liked it because it got me thinking, and I say this to you guys a lot. It prompts me. Alicia says, I love that there was no hesitation in your answer. So many things to say to him. Yeah, Wendy. Is there the Wendy? I don't know that there are many things to say to him. For me, it was a simple answer. And I was driving today with my mom and I was thinking about it. And I didn't say anything out loud with her, but I was thinking in my head, I don't know. I'm struggling with this, guys. I am. I think that this is a whole can of worms that I never really thought to open or to go there. And to be honest, I think, okay, Original Anne's trying to send me a photo of her Christmas tree she put up. I think that we're trying to tell a story now, Gideon. I think that this is okay. I think it's normal. And I think these kinds of things are going to come up for me probably over the next several years, if I had to guess. Things that I thought were no big deal, I feel like are going to be a big deal. Do you agree? I think that this has become, I can't swallow this one. I'm having a really hard time with this. And I keep thinking this is probably the most dreadful and dangerous, disgusting situation that I endured in Scientology. I have to be honest. That's how I feel. I know that sounds dramatic. Hey, Grandma Matilda, welcome in. Maybe it's not you that needs to say anything to Doug. Maybe it's Huxley that may have, Just Joan, I have no doubt. That will have to come in his time, though. That could take 20 years. I was thinking about that today, too. Guys, whatever went on there, and we don't know, and I don't know. And I may not be the person that will know. And it could take, I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said. Tommy has said this. Tommy is 55 years old. It took him 55 years, maybe 54, to share about his abuser. He'd never shared that in therapy. He'd never shared that with anybody except me. It took him over 50 years to talk about it. It's a shameful thing and it's hard. Hey, Jan, I think it's especially hard for men to talk about abuse that happened to them. And I just said, and I'll say it again, we don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I was not allowed to partake in the weekend time for, I think so, Kim is Blue. Hey, Sierra Terry. Uh, he started taking him at 4 to 6 months old, and it went on until he was 13. So every single weekend, every holiday, I don't know what went on. Maybe they just partied. I know they partied. I know that he didn't go to bed when I wanted him to. He ate sugar and he ate bad food and he didn't follow my rules. I don't know what went on though. Like, I don't know what kind of conversations were held. I don't know. I'm only seeing this through my memory. You're probably going to remember things that you might have put in the back of your mind. I am remembering things I've forgotten or blacked out, abusive behavior and bad memories. So you're Wendy, you're spot on there, because I'm already thinking of things that it's not that I forgot about them, but I'm remembering things and I'm seeing them in a more healthy way, which is showing me how unhealthy things were, if that makes sense. I'm seeing them and I'm finally identifying it and giving it a name. And in the past, I was like, well, it just, that's just how it was. No, he absolutely stole childhood from Huxley. He stole motherhood from me. And that was my answer yesterday. And I'm really glad I said that out loud. It felt good to say. And I labeled it. And it's almost like something took over my mouth, because it just shot out of me. Like Alicia said, I didn't even hesitate to say it, but it was not something that I expected to say either, if that makes sense. Yes, Jan, it's like you're shining a light on them in order to see them clearly. Yes, I think I'm putting more light on this stuff, and it's hard to do. And I'm even having a hard time talking. Like, it's hard to get it out. It's the depth of the abuse is so much more than I think I was willing to. Thank you, Joanne. I think it's more than I was willing to admit, accept. Could there be something under your guilt as a mother and under the anger toward Doug and Brenda you haven't seen yet? I'm sure, Martin, I'm sure. But what I was thinking today when I was driving, I was thinking about my answer to the question Joanne Hawley asked. And I couldn't have been more clear. That was such a good answer for me, because again, saying it out loud takes away the power. Also, identifying something for exactly what it is and what truly happened, putting the truth out there, putting the light on it, also takes away the pain and the weight. And saying that answer really made me sleep better last night. I felt better. It's very painful to relive and verbalize it. Rough stuff. Wendy, yes, but it also feels good. It's painful either way, because we're sitting on it. We're sitting on it. It's there. He has power over me. He haunts me. And this is why I never put two and two together, to be honest. I never really put a lot of thought into this, other than this is what happened. And you know the story, kind of like everything else, kind of like the statutory rape. I don't know that we've really touched on that enough for me to go, that was abusive and horrible. I still to this day look at that and I'm like, well, he was my boyfriend. I don't think I'm ready to like really accept that, again, that was predatorial behavior. He knew I was 14. He knew he was 24. And he took my hand and led me up to his bedroom. And I'm sitting over here going, well, I was an adult. I was smoking cigarettes with everybody else. I was working a full-time schedule. No, that doesn't make any of that equal to, well, that gets a pass. It doesn't. And I think that's another thing that, hey, Teresa, I'm so glad that you made it. I really was hoping you could come for this. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I missed yesterday. You know I'm here for you always. Baby steps, you're with your family. You don't always have to be here, but I love you and thank you for this. This is a topic that I appreciate a lot of my people to be here for. And I know this is not easy and I know it's triggering. I want to validate and acknowledge that right now. I realize that this is very triggering and upsetting and emotional and may may upset a lot of your traumas. So please take that seriously and don't be here for that. Like, I don't need you to support me that much. Identify your own self care and wellness and mental health, please. But for those that are going to stay, I appreciate it. Liz, your mind has been protecting you until you were healed enough and strong enough to deal with the next level of issues. You are ready. Thank you, Martin. I think, Liz, I think you're right. I truly feel like afraid. I'm scared. I feel scared. I do. I feel fearful right now. I feel like there's still some kind of power looming over me that they have, some sort of grasp, some sort of control. But it's time to talk about it. It's time to open up. I already have. There's really nothing that you don't know as far as I know. But there's something here. It's not closing. The door isn't closing. So I have to say stuff. I have to keep talking about it. And I believe, and I said this yesterday, YouTube people may say this isn't the place for that. It is for me. This is where my friends are. This is where my community is. This is where it's safe for me. This is not safe to talk about with family. And when I say safe, I just mean I feel very judged and I don't hear. And I also believe this is the best place to talk about it because there are people who might be watching right now that experience their own abuse, or maybe it will help connect the dots for their own trauma, or maybe there's under the radar people watching. Maybe, right? But it doesn't matter. This is my channel, and I feel like I need to use my voice for this kind of a thing. I just do. And my people are here with me. And I'm totally aware that there's probably a few haters watching too. I hope you find the light. Liz, thank you for saying this. It's absolutely a fact. I believe that 100%. And I also believe there's going to be more besides this story, probably scattered about for the next few years. I'm going to come up with things that to me were not a big deal, or that I didn't put a lot of attention on, and now I am. So this thing I'm putting a lot of attention on. Thank you, Lisa Kelson. I'm glad you're here. And Liz, thank you for your super chat. Honey, can I please put you down? My arm's starting to hurt. Well, we wish that we could pass you around the room like a joint, but the people aren't really here. Oh my God. Too little. Okay. Can you go lay in your bed, please? I know. Armine, it's a lot. Real quick, guys, I am going to blow my nose and then we're going to say a few more things. So, hey, truth seeker. I think it may be like walking through a landmine and every step you take is clearing the way forward. It is. Reese, it was not your fault. You were a child. You had no one to protect you. Thank you for saying that, Tammy. Hopefully we'll make progress steadily with this topic. Renee B., I have no doubt that we will. It just seems to be taking its time. I can't do a stream and be done with it. I've tried and it's not working. It's still eating at me and it still has some weird form of power over me. And it's, hey, Kevin Conklin. And it's haunting me. And I think it's the unknown, right? I think that there are things I'll never know, which bothers the hell out of me. And I think that I was driving today and I was thinking about Brenda. I was thinking I kind of went back to the memories of like my close friend, Brenda. Am I buffering? God, I hope not. Hey, Kay Thompson. I'll wait for an answer. Okay, it's just you, Kay. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Yadira. Hey, Grandma Sunshine Dragon. I started thinking about Brenda. And I was thinking they can't see these streams. There's no way. Thank you, Wendy Brewer. My mom got this at Anthropology. I think it's still on sale. They won't see these streams. Scientology would never allow it. They are sec checked probably around the clock to make sure that they're not seeing this stuff. Processing all that you have to process will take time and will need to be processed as you are able. Let it flow. Abuse is never your fault. I'm really taking that in, baby steps, because I think I also cast off that it's not your fault. When people have said that to me, I always take it as the opposite because as a Scientologist, we've pulled everything in. You have no idea how hard it is for me to feel like I was victimized or like it wasn't my fault. Everything's your fault in Scientology. It really is. That's the purpose of auditing. You pick up the cans and they go, okay, so what did you do? Who saw it? Who missed it? What did they do to make you wonder whether or not they knew? That's an actual question. Everything is your fault. If you get sick, what did I do to pull that in? And let me write up my overts and withholds. I will, baby steps. And thank you for saying it. And thank you for your super chat. Lumen, I do too. But you guys have no idea. Like, it is so hard for me to not accept the blame for this. Yes, very programmed, Yadira. So when someone says to me, this isn't your fault, it goes right in one ear and right out the, it's almost a foreign language. Nobody would ever say that in Scientology, ever. I was sexually assaulted by three total men when I was in my teenage years, 16 and 14. And I wrote them up. I wrote up reports on them, and I got in big trouble for that. I had to apologize to those men. One of them literally grabbed my body, flipped me around, shoved me up against a filing cabinet, and within a half of a second, his tongue was down my throat and his hand was up my shirt. I was 16. He was 50. I got in huge trouble for that. I was entertaining the men of the organization and crashing everybody's statistics. It's really, really hard to go, it's not your fault. I don't ever say that to people. It's not your fault. Just because it's foreign to me. I understand that it's not my fault. I get it. It's just hard to process that. I understand, SoCal Joyce. Yeah. Hey, Castrol, I'm glad that you got your green now. Yes, Wendy. And I know that's not a Scientology thing, guys. I realize a lot of people who were victims of abuse probably also feel the way I feel, whether or not they were in Scientology. It's just hard. It's really hard to say it's not your fault or it wasn't your fault. You were a child. I just still feel like, yeah, but I pulled that in. Like, I still feel that way. My mind goes to, thanks, but I'm not accepting that. That's how I feel. Processing trauma takes a lot of different types of unpacking memories and feelings. There is no specific amount of times talking about it that makes it go away. It will have its own time schedule. And so, yes. Hey, Christy Lynn Wilson. Kestrel, Baby Steps gifted you a membership. I agree with this so much, and I worry about it for Huxley because, Teresa, I can't take that away for him, and I can't process trauma for him. And I also am fully aware that it could take decades. It could take a long time. It's going to happen when it happens, where he realizes whatever happened. I don't know the depths of what happened, and I hate it. You only realize what you've been through when you describe what happened to you and you see the horror in other people's faces that you've normalized abuse. Yes, Joel, that's a great point. People have said you should not say those things about your mom. She might feel bad about it. Well, she was drunk and sleep in the shower. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Why? Yeah, I have some close people who are very close to me, and they say that a lot. Why are you so protective of the things that happened to you? Say it. Identify it. Give it a name. Give it a title. There are so many things that you guys are not aware of that I don't share here, and I won't because I'm protecting certain people. There are people in my life that have done things that I've seen that were done to me that I haven't ever shared here. You have no idea because I'm protecting them and I can't not protect them. And maybe I'll feel differently about that one day. Peace in knowing that whatever and whenever he needs it, you are there to get him the resources he needs. Yes. I just don't know what kind of timeline we're looking at, Debbie. No one does. How can it sink in when you've been told that for 38 years? 38 years, you're trying your hardest to change it. It's going to take a long time, and we're here to remind you that it's not your fault and you're no victim. Armine, thank you for saying that, and it's very validating. You can't take responsibility for other people's abusive indiscretions. Yes. Reflections, I am so sorry. Thank you, Renee B. Shelly Kelly, it's normal to blame yourself. I blamed myself for a long time because I had been drinking. I tried to climb out of a window to get away from him. That is so horrific and sad. And I'm really thankful that you're safe and happy and you're away from that. I'm sorry it happened to you, Shelly Kelly. I love you. Thank you for sharing and thank you for your super chat, babe. Rain says, I was told that if I do this, it would lead to that. And because I did this and that, in fact, happened, I blame myself. It was all my fault for setting things in motion. Exactly. I get it. And we carry these things with us. Rain isn't 19. She's my age. We carry these things with us. How do we unburden ourselves? How do we even first just go through? It's hard to go through the motions. And right now we're 41 minutes in and I've sucked at this stream so far. I haven't really gotten into it and I'm trying. I'm so deeply uncomfortable. And what I was going to say earlier is I was imagining Brenda. I can see her watch a stream like this. Of course, she'd never be allowed to. Let's say she did, though. Brenda would be the first to laugh at this and go, are you kidding? Doug was an angel. He swooped in and took care of you guys. He paid for everything. He was the ideal grandfather. He loved you guys unconditionally, wholeheartedly. He did everything for you. I can hear her saying it. I can hear her going, you are the biggest liar. I can't believe you would paint this man to be a monster because he is nothing but perfect and he treated you guys so well and he was a family man and you didn't have a father. I can hear all of her words just tearing me down, saying like he was the perfect dad to you. Hey, Katie. DS Kitty Diane, that's okay. I'm glad you made it. The guy you called your boyfriend knew he abused you, or he wouldn't have acted so strangely when you saw him in Kansas City. I saw him in Seattle. He kept saying it was a long time ago and you're fine now. Yes. Yes. Wendy, I'm glad. Maybe be super brave with us here. Get into it. What are you afraid of? Describe the feeling. I don't know if it's fear, Martin, or if it's like haunting, looming, power. I feel like he still has power over this situation. I feel fearful for my son and what may or may not have happened there. I don't know what happened. I don't want him to have to carry any kind of heavy weight in life we know what happened. Abandonment. He was abandoned. That's got to come to the surface at some point. So it's a lot of emotions, Martin. Wendy, if talking about this makes you feel nervous, definitely feel free to step away. I do not want people to be triggered here. Like handle your mental wellness. I don't want you to put that last. Put yourself first here, okay? Baby steps, you have said the person you are now would not have allowed the Doug abuse. You were abused and unaware. No blame. Don't let the person you are now blame the person you are now. Wait, don't let the person you are now blame the person you are now. Blame the person you were then. They are different. She makes a great point. That is a really good point, baby steps. Thank you for saying that. I like that. Thank you. And thank you for your super chat. Hey, Lilac Lime. Hi, Reese. Scientology says that when the soul dies, they go to the planet or whatever they call it, and it erases minds. How do they then think during audits? They make people recall what happened in earlier lives. So Scientology believes that when a person drops the body and dies, they go to the nearest hospital and they not nearest, they could go to another state, another country, but they go to a hospital and they go to where a woman is delivering and they pick up a new body. They don't typically go off to any other planet. The thing that they're directed to do is to go get a new body. Um, there is something called the implant station. There's like several of them, and it's like the forgetter machine that we go through. And that's why they say that we have amnesia. And that's why they say you have to go up the bridge as fast as you possibly can so that when you do drop your body, you won't go into the light, which the light is apparently the forgetter station, the implant station. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what they believe. And as far as going off to another planet, it's highly frowned upon. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay on planet Earth. That's what I was told. Brenda was brainwashed in her single family cult as well by Scientology. She became a perpetrator herself by how she justified his abuse. Absolutely, she did. Teresa, I don't feel any sadness toward Brenda. I don't feel anything about her. Somebody pointed out that they think of her as that Ghislaine Maxwell. If the shoe fits, that's how I feel about that. She was an enabler. She told me to shut up. I would pound my head against the wall complaining to her about Doug. I would say, "This isn't right. That's not right. I want my child back." And she would go, "He pays your bills. He's the patriarch of the family. Don't upset him and don't bring any and theta onto his lines." That's what she would say. And theta is bad news or anything like that. I don't feel anything bad toward her. Like, I don't feel sad for her. I think if she's laying there scrubbing toilets right now in her late 60s, that's what she fucking gets. I'm sorry, but okay, that's where okay, let's go into this. Let's work through this because I'm feeling some emotion about this. Kazri, hey, welcome. We're talking about Doug and Brenda. Of course, Lilac Lime. Let's go into this. I felt he's hovering above you. Could you describe it a little more? Just a feeling in your body, not the history. Martin, I don't know if I can. I feel heat in my body right now, Martin. I feel anger. Kim is blue. That's really sad. Tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of Lisa McPherson's passing. That's really, really sad. It must feel so enraging to think about Brenda as she pretended to be your friend when she was really just executing Doug's agenda. Yes, it is. Thank you, Teresa. That's great. Yes, Wanda, welcome in, and I do too. Their son couldn't even tell Doug that you had gotten divorced. And we couldn't even tell Doug that we got divorced because it was going to upset him. And he was the sole financial moneymaker of the family. And we made excuses for him. She described him as gnarly. Thank you, Rhonda McNeil. I think that's where I'm at about this. I didn't have these feelings 3 weeks ago. Believe it or not, I didn't. And so now I just feel, I think I feel a lot of anger. Clarification, Brenda is your son's father's mom. No, Brenda is my ex-mother-in-law. She is the grandmother of Huxley. She is the mother of Michael Huxley's father. Joel Sachs, so proud of you for having the strength to discuss this. Well, Joel, thank you. I don't feel like I'm doing a good job. This is what I mean. I'm like, let's do a stream on this. And then I can't get the words out. It's really hard for me to communicate this. And I don't know even where to start. Thank you for your super chat, Joel Sachs, and just thank you for being here. She's a fucking enabler. And just all the times that I was like, this isn't acceptable. This is not okay. This is not like something I'm willing to deal with. I'd like to have Huxley for a Thanksgiving, like all those things. She would just do this, like, we're not going to upset Doug and everything that he's done for you. Like, it so was like frustrating because I had her, I got to go through her. And if I really wanted to make noise, I'd have to go up against Scientology. And thank you, Break the Spell. I'd have to go up against Scientology. And it's just like my father. He was able to get away with everything he got away with because he was writing checks. Doug was the same. Predators thrive in Scientology. They are protected. Here's the other thing. Would you guys be willing to sit through this with me? I listened to the tail end of it the other day. And I heard it's like when you watch a movie 20 times and you pick up something new and you're like, I never noticed that before. I listened to the tail end of the last call with Huxley and Doug, and it really upset me. I was streaming down tears. I was very upset. But I think he says in this call, he says, I just want to reassure you. Right at the tail end, when they're saying goodbye to each other, I want to reassure you. And it's so hard because it's the last call we ever heard from him. It's the last time anyone ever heard from him. And I think that it just sets me off that I don't know what I'm feeling here. I think I'm so angry with Scientology in general. And I'm like, this channel isn't big enough. I got to take this somewhere else. I want to, hey, Crafty Carrie, I want to play those tapes for like huge, massive Coldplay sized stadiums of people. I want people to hear it because it's not my end of the story. You can listen to it for yourself. And that is it angers me so much that you would just do that and dump a child. No, I don't think so, Martin. You are doing a good job. This is how complex trauma is to process. It's showing people an example. Wow. Okay. Well, that actually is a very positive thing to say. And I hope that that's accurate. I hope this is helping someone because right now I feel like I'm learning how to talk. I'm getting more mad. Hey, no one, I'm getting more mad that like my words are not coming out. I feel like I'm not fucking communicating anything I'm trying to say because I'm just like, it's choppy. And it's just like in my head right now, it feels like just a hurricane going on. Like I'm trying to like identify my words and I can't find them. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for that validation. I don't know, Susie Kelly. I listened to this though the other day and it just might be something I need to hear. Thank you, Kevin. Would you guys be willing to just listen to the end of this and maybe it would just help me to kind of like break down everything that he says? And it also just links for me. It links for me how. Yeah, that's a good point, Wanda. Thank you, Wendy Brewer, for being here. Here's the other thing. This is just a factor that nobody thought Doug would go away. I would have put money when all of this was going down and it was going down in flames. Things were just, you guys have no idea. I was secretly giving answers to questions that Aaron wanted. Okay. This is before I got outed. Before I even ever called the Aftermath Foundation, I was rocking in the fetal position after I had watched that show. And I was like, what am I going to do? I have to talk to somebody at this point. I watched the whole show and I was like, I've been severely lied to and manipulated my whole life. I have to talk to somebody. I cannot live the rest of my life as a Scientologist at this point. I can't. And I can't walk into my local org and go, I watched this and I'm pissed. I have questions. I was going to be in so much trouble for watching that. It took me close to 8 weeks to finally make the call to the Aftermath Foundation. I did not do that at the drop of a hat. It took me a long time to finally pick up the phone and dial because I knew there's no going back. There's no going back. If I do this, I'm done and I will be jettisoned forever, right? Thank you, Lenora Gray. I finally picked up the phone. I finally got through to, I think he was the president at the time of the Aftermath Foundation, Aaron. Hey, Jeanette Brown. And that was July 5th, 2022. From July to New Year's Eve of 2022, Aaron was saying, get this information for me. Tell me this. Do you know these people? See if your mother-in-law knows these people. Get these names. Get this for me. Tell me this. And it was absolutely terrifying, but thrilling because I had someone that I could talk to. But it was terrifying because it wasn't the path I expected. But I did it, right? And then being outed was all just like throwing me into just like, I felt like I was just like being tossed around in my mind of emotions. Like, now what? Right? Like, I get this call from Aaron, New Year's Day, 2023, Sunday morning. And he's like, I flashed your name. I don't know that they saw it. I think we're safe. I think we're okay. It was the most like gut wrenching, like, oh my God. Because I would have never shared that story. I would have never come out. I would have never come out. As much as everybody says, yes, you would have, I would have never come out. I was way too scared to lose my family. I'm glad it happened. I'm just going through the motions right now. Between the two of them, they took your voice, they took your life with Huxley to be able to bond with him. They made you feel at their mercy. They drained you of any feeling. They're horrible people with very hurtful actions. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. That is so true. These are horrible fucking monsters. They are. They're 10 times worse, in my opinion, than my father. They were charmers with claws. They were evil to their fucking core. And they were writing checks to me and they were smiling and we were doing family dinners 3 times a week. And they were just so helpful. We'll do anything to help you. We'll pay for whatever you want. But we're going to take your motherhood and we're going to take your kid. Literally, I made a deal with the devil. That's what I'm realizing. And I can't undo it. I can't buy it back. I can't help him. I can't get the time back. I can't do anything about it except sit here and realize what happened in real fucking time for something that happened 15, 16 years ago. And just the last 15, 16 years. I was a surrogate for my own child. And it's really awful. Joanne, thank you for saying that. And thank you for the super chat. That means a lot to me. And so after I got outed, I lost everyone. But what you guys may not understand, I think it's important for me to gap this. I don't know why my mind went here, but it's important to bridge this gap right here, right now. What I don't think you guys understand is I got outed on 12/31/22. New Year's Day, was the start of my new life, whether I wanted it to be or not. It was a whole new life that was about to unfold. 2023. And I was not aware of the deal that I had signed, Baby Steps. And I'm just becoming fully aware, and it's rough. And I can't get it back. What was taken from me, I can't get it back. Thank you for your super chat, and thank you for everyone who's remaining in this chat. I would not, Martin. You've helped Hux more than you know. You got him away from Doug and Scientology and have gotten him into therapy. It must be so frustrating to not help more, but I don't feel like I'm helping enough. I'm not helping myself enough though, Teresa. Like I'm struggling right now through this. And hopefully once I do get through it, I can be of more help for not just Huxley, but for a lot of people. That's my goal. Thank you, Debbie. So what you guys may not know, hey, Ghostwriter, is I'm giving you these dates because these dates are specific intentionally. January 1st of 2023 was the start of my new life. I never spoke to my family again. Except, do you guys know this? Do you understand this? I never spoke to them again except Doug. Everybody was in Clearwater when this happened, except Doug. They left him there with an SP to fend for himself. No one ever told him I got declared until March. So January, February, and part of March, I had to sit with him in my home every other day. Doug was coming to Huxley's swim meets, his wrestling meets, his track meets, his football practices, dinners every weekend, tutoring Huxley at my house. His family, who love and protect him, left him with me. You're a wonderful person and a wonderful mother. Please don't ever doubt that. I love you, Joel Sachs. Thank you for saying that. Coming from you, that just means a lot. You're so therapeutic. I don't think you realize that. Thank you for your super chat. You didn't have to super chat that. I appreciate that. This man was left with the wolves, the SP wolf, right? Martin, I think I'm just trying to go through the motions. I don't know. I'm not really even aware of what I'm saying other than I do want to stick to this timeline. These pieces of shit who enabled Doug all of this time, I get declared and they left him. Oh, I absolutely have no doubt. I am concerned that someday he will blame you erroneously for what he did and Brenda allowed. It's common for victims. I already see it happening. 100%. I'm with you there, Christy Lynn. You were being re-traumatized again and again. That must have been agonizing to sit with. Oh my God. Yes. I had to pretend to be a Scientologist with Doug in my house while knowing Brenda and everybody. I lost 300 to 500 people. I don't know the exact number. I lost people overnight. They were gone. Nobody told Doug. And it's just like when Michael and I got divorced. I had to tell Doug a year later. We got divorced and we weren't allowed to tell Doug for over a year. Brenda was like, you can't tell him. It will just destroy him. You can't give Doug any bad news. You can't give it to him. So we had to pretend for a year and nobody could tell Doug that we got divorced. Huxley? Yeah. Can you let Moose in? I think he's outside. Yeah. I think he's in. Okay. No, we couldn't tell him. So, like, again, it was the silence thing, right? Like, don't do this. Don't say that. Don't tell him that. Keep that a secret. I'm so sick of the secrets. At this point, I'm so sick of the secrets. That's why I think I'm having a hard time right now. Did Doug know you were outed? No. Nobody told him. Nobody told him. He came to my house every day, like every other. He was tutoring Huxley. I think that was an excuse to come hang out with Huxley because he would come pick him up from school, take him to dinner for 2 hours, and then come back and hang out at my house with him for another 2 hours and leave at 9:30 at night. He would do that like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He'd go on course Thursday, pick him up Friday, and bring him back Sunday. I literally got to hang out with Huxley like one day a week, if that. He kept him from me so much. You have no idea. So I have to pretend. I'm trying to keep Jeff off of my ass with the gestures, right? Because he is making an example of me. He is torturing me. I'm trying to play Scientologist only around Doug. I'm tap dancing for Doug. I got Aaron calling me going, let's do a show now that you've been outed and lost everybody. Like, it's all over. He's like, cut your losses and let's do a show on my channel. And I was like, I don't think I can. I'm not ready for that. Like, that's not what's important to me right now. That was so hard for me because I just was like, I've lost everyone. Brenda knows. Everybody knows. But they left Doug here with the wolf to fend for himself. And I start to feel sorry for Doug. I'm literally looking at Jeff going, somebody needs to tell him. Do I need to tell him that I'm Hitler? Like, really? I'm doing everything else. And I'm trying to balance my mental wellness, which I was not doing. I was losing that battle. I couldn't get out of bed. Every day that went by, I was like, I can't. How did everyone else know? They were in Clearwater. Osa told them. Everybody else knew. But their own family, the patriarch, the man we didn't want to upset, the man that we fucking protected all these years, you're going to leave him to fend for himself in Kansas City with the bad guy. And I literally was like, Jeff, pull him aside and tell him. Somebody needs to tell him. I was like, I can't fake this anymore. I can't fake pretending to be Doug's pal and family member whilst knowing they know I've been declared. Every single person in my life in Scientology left except Doug. Nobody told the guy. Hey, Barbara, wait. Well, how would I know, Kestrel? I don't know. So then finally, like the first or second week of March, finally, they call Doug to Clearwater. He gets called to Clearwater and he lets us know. He's like, it was, my nervous system was broken. I was like, I can't, like, I was having dark thoughts, guys. You can imagine what that means. I was having dark, like, I don't need to be here anymore. All I do is cause trouble in this world thoughts. I was really, really defeated in that time. This wasn't like 2 weeks. This went on till March. Aaron calls me January 1st, 2023, Sunday, and says, I think I might have outed you, but I don't know. January 9th, 2023, I got a call from Kathy. And that was the last call I ever got from a Scientologist. If you recall, we've all played it on this channel. Track with me here. So I have to go through January and all of February and the first week of March, dancing for Doug, pretending to be like everything's fine. I'm speaking Scientology language. I'm totally flipped over into a Scientologist when he comes over. I'm like, oh, hey, Theta. Hey, that's so uptone. Like, I'm having to just speak like a Scientologist for this guy that I'm starting to feel bad for. I was like, I cannot believe. Where's your family now? Where's your family now? While I'm rotting inside, knowing my family left, he has no idea. Jeff's all over me with the gestures, threatening me, telling me I better shut up. Don't talk about it. You'll be punished for everything. So I'm literally like, Like, I can't do this. I was going to break. Huxley is like kind of in the dark. He doesn't really know everything that's going on. I'm trying to shield him from that. And then I got Aaron calling me going, we should do a show on my channel because you've lost everybody and let's just do it. Right. I understand. I get it. We had been working together for 6 months. It made sense why he was like, fuck it. You've been outed. Let's do this. Like, tell your story to the world. And I was like, I can't. That's the last thing that's on my mind right now. I can't. I got to deal with this guy in my house. Like, this is the most bizarre, crazy, I don't know, Renee B. I mean, I don't think that's probably true. That's probably true. So finally, Doug gets the call to go to Clearwater. And he says goodbye to us. He doesn't know why he's going. And I'm like, like, finally, I know why he's going. He doesn't know why he's going. And he's like, I'll see you guys when I get back next week. He thinks he's coming back. He thinks all is fine. And if you notice, if you look at the date, my first stream with Aaron was March 11th, 2023. Okay, Lisa. Because that first week, Doug got called somewhere. I don't know if it was the first or second week, but Doug left. And then I said to Aaron, I said, I guess I'm ready to do it. And he was like, no way. And I said, there's no hope now. Like, all is lost. Doug's finally gone. Everything's over. My life's over. Like, if you want me to do a stream with you, I was like, I don't know how to do it. I don't watch YouTube, but I'll do it. And that's the stream. Yep. That's why I looked like I was death warmed up on that stream. If you go look at that stream, my skin is gray. I look super unhealthy. I'm like this. I looked so bad on that stream. That was knocking on death's door for me. I was like, I'll do it. And he had been calling me going, let's do a stream. And I was like, I can't. I don't want to. I don't give a shit. I've lost everything. I'm totally stuck in a moment of apathy. Like, I don't know where my life goes from here. This is my whole life. And it's over. And I have a 13-year-old that I have to keep afloat, that I have to still tap dance for and pretend like nothing's wrong. And I have fucking Jeff on me going, shut up. Don't talk about the jesters. Like, I've got too much going. It was just too much, like, silence. And it was just too fucking much. So he finally gets called. And the rest of March went by. And I think Huxley got a phone call from Doug, maybe the first week Doug was gone. And I don't think they had told him yet. And that was it. We never heard from Doug again. So April 25th, 2023. So March 11th, I did my first stream with Aaron. April 25th, I was like, this is nuts. Then I started to feel some sort of anger. I started to feel rage because Huxley called him Pup Pup. That was his name for Doug. He called Brenda Grammy and he called Doug Pup Pup. And Huxley, at this point, I'm trying to shield him from all of this and look like I'm okay, right? Like, I was crying daily. I felt lost and totally hopeless. And he finally is like, I haven't heard from him, from a guy who was taking him and in his life daily to nothing, radio silence. I was like, I think my thoughts on Doug, and I would have put everything I had on this. I would have put my life on this. My 100% certainty was Doug's going to go to Clearwater. They're going to tell him the truth. Hey, Jamie Palmer. And he's going to say, I'm leaving you, I'm leaving my family, and I'm leaving Scientology. I'm clear. I'm good until the next lifetime. I'll see you guys when I come back. I have to go to protect Huxley from her. Huxley has no one, and he is stuck with a known suppressive person now doing suppressive work. I have to go be with him to make sure that he will be okay. I was 100% sure that's what he would do. I was 100% sure that Doug was going to break away from Scientology, his family, his friends, everybody he knew, to go be with Huxley. That's how insanely, you guys know, like creepily, what's the word I'm looking for? Connected to Huxley. He was so just with Huxley. So I thought, we're going to keep Doug. We're going to inherit Doug. I had no question about it. I was like, Jeff, get ready for this fallout. It's going to be ugly, but we are going to inherit Doug. And I wouldn't be surprised if he lives with us. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Doug just like moves into our basement. We had a 4,000 square foot home. And I was like, we're going to get Doug in this Scientology massive breakup. Baby Step says, the fact you are here and doing as well as you are is a miracle. You have done more in less than 3 years than others do in a lifetime. That is so validating. And I appreciate you saying that so much. I will try to hold on to those words, Baby Steps. And thank you still for being here. And thank you for your super chat. It means a lot that you're here. It means more to me that you guys stay with me through these streams than the dumb ones. You don't have to stick around for those. Yeah. Martin, I was like, Jeff, get ready for it. I was like, we have a king size bed in the basement. It's like a whole other suite down there. I was like, we're going to get Doug in this breakup. He's probably going to live with us. I was certain of it. There's no way in my mind that Doug was going to walk away from Huxley. Never. He could walk away from Brenda. He could walk away from Scientology, but I never would have thought. And then I thought, God, I hope so. Kim is blue. And then I thought, if he doesn't walk away immediately, he's going to fight this for a long time. Doug's a fighter. When COVID was happening and the church said nobody can come in without a mask and gloves, Doug was like, fuck you. He didn't go anywhere near the church. He was like, I'm not wearing a mask and I'm not wearing gloves, so fuck you. I'll stick to my own integrity. Doug was a rebel. He was like my dad. He didn't lay down and take rules. As you guys knew, he would eat Brenda alive at a dinner table. He would eat me alive. Like Doug bulldozed anyone who got in his way. So I was like, we have that. He's going to fight this. I guarantee you he's going to fight this. Would Jeff let that happen? Oh God, yes. Jeff would have let that happen. Jeff loved Doug. Yeah. Jeff really liked Doug. Yeah. Jeff would have let Michael move in with us. I told Jeff that Michael's probably going to come live with us. Hold on. So at this point, it's a waiting game. He gets called to Clearwater. And I'm like, it was like sitting there waiting on Jeff to come home from a jester party. I was like rocking back and forth, chewing off my nails. Like I was literally like bleeding again on my fingers. And I was like, this is going to go one of two ways. Like he's either going to say, F you, I'm done with the church. I'm getting divorced. I'm coming to live with you guys. Or we're not going to hear from him for a little bit, but he's going to fight this tooth and nail. I just knew he would. He didn't give a shit about me. It was Huxley I knew he was going to fight for. And weeks went by and nothing. And I started to just panic. I was just panicking. And Huxley's like, I need to hear from him. Where is he? And I just tried to soften the blow as much as I could. And he knew some things, right? Like he knew. And the day before I went on Aaron's channel for the first time, that was March 11th. The night of March 10th, I gave him a lot more information. I said, Huxley, here's the deal. I said, I'm so sorry that I've put you in this situation. We're going to lose our family and we're going to lose them quick. And it's going to be painful. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this happened. I would have never chosen for this. I did not want to be outed. I would have not left. I would have handled this very differently, but wasn't given a choice. It just happened. And I said, I'm so sorry. Hey, honey Lou. And I said, I want to go on this channel to tell my story. And I said, but I'm not going to do it if you're not cool with it. And Huxley's so smart. And his words were, he said, weren't you sexually abused by a man when you were 14 in the Church of Scientology? He knew that. And I said, yes, I was. And he said, then I think it's worth it, because if it's happening to another boy or girl at that age right now, he said, maybe it will help them. So I think you should, Mom. And he was my rock. And I said, okay, and I'm going to do it, because it wasn't that important to me to go on YouTube. It just wasn't. I was like, even when Aaron and Jeff said you should get a channel, I was like, why? There's enough ex-Scientologists that already have channels telling their stories, like lighting the torch, leading the way. I was like, you don't need me to add to this mass of people that are already doing it. It just felt pointless to me. So I just wasn't gung ho about going on a YouTube channel. I didn't give a shit. I didn't even watch YouTube, and I still don't. So thank you, Kevin Conklin. So I did it with Aaron on March 11th, and it felt great. It felt good and therapeutic to talk about it. But I looked horrible. If you go watch that, it was really bad. I was terrified at that time. It was really bad. You could see it all over my face, my skin, my eyes. I'm another person that is going to say that none of this is your fault, but I also know that doesn't do anything to help the pain or guilt. Thank you, Teresa. I'm just glad we're talking this out. This is where I needed to start. I needed to start at the beginning. So I do the show with Aaron March 11th. Oh, for sure, Kaz. Were you getting forced out likely saved Huxley? It did. So many good things came of it. I wouldn't want anything to change. I am so thankful that this all happened now. But I'm talking about it, the panic at the time of. Like, of course, now, right? Hindsight's 2020. I'm so thankful that it all happened the way it did. I think it was a God thing, to be honest. I'll never feel differently about that. I'm very grateful for it. I'm grateful that I chose to make the call to the Aftermath Foundation. I'm grateful that I set that in motion. I really sat on that decision for about 8 weeks before I made that call. 8 weeks, I sat there and I was like, this is it. If you do this, I would say it out loud. If you make that call, there's no going back, because eventually you're going to be found out on the hands. Right? I wasn't ever thinking I would be outed publicly, but I thought I'm going to be outed when I go in and get on the cans, and I'm going to have to figure out a solution for that and pray that I don't get declared for it. Right? Debbie, all I can think about is what you must have been thinking and feeling your first few streams. After all that trauma, all the love and support must have been overwhelming, but also amazing. Boy, did you need this outlet. Oh my God. You just put it all in a nutshell. Why every day I say, I'm so grateful for you guys, because that is where my head still is. I don't feel like this evolved person that you all say I am. I feel like this fearful person that's evolved a little bit. And I definitely have more boundaries set up, and I definitely rely on me more. I've learned a lot, but I don't ever take for granted for a second what this channel, what this community has done for me. Somebody once said, Aaron shoved you, we caught you. That is a fact of all facts. You guys caught me. So when you come to me and you guys just pour the love on me and go, Reese, you have no idea what you've done for me. You have no idea what you've done for my daughter. You have no idea. You have no idea. I appreciate it. But the honor is mine. You have no idea what you've done for me. And that will always be the way I see it. You'll never get me to see it any other way. I will be thankful till the last time I close my eyes for everybody who has come to this channel, who has stayed with me, who has said, keep fighting the good fight. I'm here with you. We love you. We're proud of you. Whatever it is, we are your emotional mosh pit. Yes. And mods, don't think I'm not looking at you. That's why this means, this encapsulates, if that's the right word, What Debbie just said is everything I feel. I was terrified to start a channel. I had no intentions. I literally woke up one morning and Jeff goes, "Your microphone's here from Amazon. Debbie, thank you for that and your super chat." And I went, "What the fuck is this? What is this, Anderson Cooper?" I was like, "What are we doing?" He was like, "Your microphone's here." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not having a channel." I was like, "I don't watch YouTube. I'm not a speaker." I can't believe that's the only thing I can thank Jeff for right there. He was like, "You're going to have a channel." Now, I don't think his heart was in the right place. I don't think he wanted me to do it for the right reasons. I think it was a clout chasing thing at the time. But yeah, I said, "All right, Joe Rogan, let's do this." Fine. But Debbie's right. My first year of streaming, I was terrified. And then I got to meet other people. I got to stream with other people. I got to meet Sterling, who just warmed my heart. I loved streaming with Sterling. He validated me so much. And then I got to meet Tommy. And there were other people along the way that I got to meet. And I loved streaming with Aaron. He was hilarious. I loved our game nights. It really put me into a state of relaxed mode in a whole new world, if that makes sense. I feel like I was starting to kind of find my people and it was going to be okay. There was some light at the end of the tunnel. I made some friendships. Some people have stuck by my side, as you can see in here, that have never left. My mods have never left me. All of you who've come either 10 days ago or 2 minutes ago, or they've been here since the beginning, have still never left me. Now, I've lost 4,000 people. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. We know the internet's forever. Okay. But I wouldn't change a thing because it's brought me to where I am and I'm open about it. And I feel like I'm going in the right direction. The core group is like the Zooms, like hot cocoa. So true. Thank you for your super chat, Robin. And I'm glad you're here with me. Jeff, give her a mic, give her a camera, give her a voice on YouTube. What could possibly go wrong with this plan? Jeff clearly didn't know who I was in any capacity. Tommy says to me all the time, "You were the shrew." In whatever story that Shakespeare story is, he's like, it's a compliment. You were the shrew. You couldn't be shut up. So I just want to point that out. Yes, you did, baby steps. None of this was expected nor planned. None of it. All of this fell into place. All of this just was like almost all of it was forced on me. The YouTube channel was totally forced. I was like, dude, I don't even have a computer. I didn't even have a computer. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not a speaker. And it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I make money doing this. My channel grew massively. I made so many friends around the world. The Zoom calls, people supported helped me move, helped me to get divorced. Like I literally said, "I'm falling," and people were like, "Take my hand." And it's never stopped. It's never stopped. And I don't ever stop thinking about that. I think about it every single day. How grateful I am for this community, how much it means to me. I think about it all the time. And I think about our losses. I think about the people we lose. And it makes me very sad. I'm much better now. And I understand why people had to leave or why people don't think I'm a good person. I can see through their eyes why they would think that. It's understandable and it's fair. And I always hope they'll come back. But I also hope for new people, and things change and fluctuate. And I get it now. Welcome in, Eric. Tampa A, you're absolutely right. So I already feel, I love you, West Coast Fancy Nancy. I wanted to share the tail end of this phone call because I realize that it's really rough to listen to. But I also think it's important to hear. I think it's like the Scientology tapes I have. We're coming up on the new year, and I usually play them around the beginning of the new year. And I was going to play them again this year, guys. I was going to play the Kathy one, the Sea Org one, the Brenda one, because I know we've all heard them, but they're so powerful. And it's like I've seen this movie 5 times, but I just noticed something I've never noticed before. I think that it's incredibly important. Love you, Jamie, to pull back the Scientology curtain. You don't have to take my word for it. You can listen with your own ears and interpret whatever you want to interpret listening to it. But they're powerful and they should never be forgotten. That's my opinion. They should never be forgotten. They should be heard around the clock. Teresa says, I found you by random luck. I watched Aaron because I heard him interviewing Jamie Mustard, and that's where I heard about the DSR shots, which became a lifesaver for me. I stayed because you were real. I love that. So many of you found me through Aaron, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so very grateful for that. However you found me, I'm grateful, and I'm grateful that I found you. So would we be okay to listen to this for it's like a few minutes? Just because I feel like it ties in with what we're talking about, and it's the timeline. So, Wendy, they're very powerful calls. Thank you, Tampa A. It's very sad. This is the last phone call. So this is April 25th, 2023, where Huxley came to me and said, I've had enough. I need to hear from him. I want to know what he has to say. So once again, this is very triggering for me at the time, even because once again, the child has to be the adult. I was dumped by my father at 16. And their solution was, well, write him a letter, reach out to him, see what you can do. And I wrote letter after letter after letter. I wrote emails, and he would sometimes write me back. He responded on email, and he would say, don't ever call me again. Don't call, don't email, don't write letters, stop the communication. I'm not your father. So once again, the child has to be the adult in Scientology. I think you should absolutely play the phone calls again to kick off the new year. There are always new people. And for those of us who've been here from the beginning, it's important. Christy, I thank you for saying that. I totally feel that way. I don't think anybody who's heard those calls right now is going, oh, you're not going to play those again. No, they're incredibly important. They're going to be a part of history at some point. And the reason I say that, and it sounds incredibly dramatic, is because I can say with full certainty, you'll never hear a Scientologist in the wild. You'll never hear how they talk. Never. Okay? Never. They speak very differently when they know that they're out in the open. These calls are behind the scenes, pulling back the Scientology curtain calls. Okay? It's important to know the difference. These are secretly recorded calls. They don't know they're being recorded. So it's very important for people, the world, to hear it. Now, I'm going to find a spot in this because these calls, I just want to play the ending. Hold on. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers signed with the Jets.
Yeah, he went to the Jets now, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad for that.
So this is like the last couple of minutes of this phone call. This is a really hard phone call to listen to. I'm glad that I recorded it. This is Doug promising to keep in touch with Huxley after 13 years of his life, being in his life, taking control. stealing my ability to be a mother. And this is the last phone call that ever took place with Doug. This is the end of Doug, the rise and fall of Doug, the cult of Doug. This is how it all ended right here. And it's because a 13-year-old boy was brave enough to make the call. Hey, Brock, welcome in. You have to remember, Huxley made this call. The other thing about this I want you to know is Doug is heavily coached before this call ever took place. So let me give you an example. Before I used to, as a Scientologist, travel to see my mom and sister who were not Scientologists, I had to sit down and be coached. Okay. So they were worried about what would take place going to see Diane and Brianna when I would come to Tennessee. So I had to sit down with a coach who was Diane. They would pretend to be Diane. And I would have to drill with them to a pass that I was acceptable and able to be okay. I had to get the okay to go visit them. I find the more I hear them, the more I actually hear what's being said. Same. And thank you for your super chat, Joanne. So I had to sit down and get to a pass someone who pretended to be my mom and then someone who pretended to be my sister. Doug had to do the exact same thing. He had to sit down with someone who had to pretend to be Huxley, burst into tears, HE&R all over the place, human emotion and reaction. Okay. And Doug had to over and over and over drill that to a pass. And you can hear it 100% in this call that he got a pass. Because my son in this call, in a few seconds, you're going to hear him go, because he can't even talk. He's crying so hard he's choking. I had to leave the room when this happened. I had to leave the room. I couldn't handle it. I was bawling. And Doug is the auditor, and he's going, okay, yeah, okay. Like it doesn't, because Scientologists are trained to be robots. You remove every bit, love you, Donna, every bit of emotion. Yes, Clearwater, Biggie Cat. So I'm going to play this because I think it's like all those calls. I think the more we hear this, the more we can decide for ourselves how evil that cult is. Doug had to walk away from him after 13 years. So let's listen to this.
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about something. I think you know now about of all this going on.
Not too much.
Did you get my text?
I got it, but I was a little confused about it.
I don't know. I really want to. I really just don't want to disconnect. And I know that they're all there probably pressuring you. I know that's the policy. If they're doing that to the church, you guys view it as attacking the church, and I really don't want to disconnect,
Well, I tell you what, Huxley, and I'm going to work with you. There's a lot of confusion in that area, but it can be worked out where you and I won't be disconnected, okay?
Yeah. It's just,
We'll work it out, and I'm going to work with your dad on it too, okay?
okay, it's been on my mind for a long time.
Right.
I've known you my whole life, and I have to disconnect,
Well,
You know, it's not how family works. But it'd be great to work it out.
yeah. Well, I don't know what you've been told, but we can definitely work something out, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to be back in Kansas City, and then I'm going to get with your dad, and we're going to work things out, okay?
Okay.
And I know it's been heavy on your mind. I can understand what you're saying.
I just know that's the policy sometimes.
Well, there's more to it than that, okay?
All right.
That's what's kind of confusing, and it is something that your dad and I work on, okay? And we're going to include you too, because like you say, we've been together all these years, and we want to keep that strong relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nothing between you and me, and it's nothing we can't work out, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I definitely love you with all my heart, and I care for you completely. And I'm sorry that it's putting you in an upset condition, because I want you to do well, and I want you to do well in school and well with sports, and just have a great life, okay?
Yeah.
But hang in there. We'll get it figured out, okay?
Yeah.
And just know that it's going to all work out.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay? Are you at your house?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And why don't you can also call your dad and talk with him too, okay?
Okay.
But just hang in there. We're family, so we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, but sounds good.
Well, thanks for calling. I know it takes a lot of courage to call, and I know I'm glad that you feel were able to call and reach out for me, okay?
Yeah.
And then keep me posted on how you're doing. I want you to do really good in school.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want you to do really good in your sports. And keep practicing. And then we'll get this all figured out, okay?
Okay.
Okay. But I just wanted to reassure you, and thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
Reassure you.
Yeah, but I just love you so much. So.
Yeah. I love you so much too. Okay.
It's
We'll work it out. We'll make it work.
yeah.
Now just hang in there just a little bit longer, okay?
All right.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.
Okay. We'll stay in touch too, okay? You can call anytime.
Will you call again when you get a chance? Was very telling listening to that again, not at the time. I love you too, honey. I was just thinking, I'm sorry if I'm running over time. If you're trying to do a stream, Tommy, I just thought of that while this was happening. And it's just, I've lost track of time if I did. Yeah. When he says, have a great life, absolutely. But when he says, will you call again when you get a chance, makes me feel like you're in prison. Like that's probably something Tommy would say to a relative in prison. Will you call again? Did Huxley call again? We never talked to Doug ever again. That was it. Never spoke to him again. Never once. Bible verses, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Old Testament, God loves you in Hux. Baby steps, that's a beautiful Bible verse. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for your super chat. It's a very gutting call. It's a very gutting call. It's very hard to process that. The reason I played it again is because I listened to it a few days ago and I really, really cried through it. And some of those things were telling. What Christy Lynn Wilson said when Doug says, I want you to have a good life, it felt very telling to me too. And if you notice in his voice, I never paid attention before, he sounds like he's trying to break through to emotion, but he's not allowed. If you notice toward the end, he's like, will you call again? Oh, okay. We're going to work this out. Okay. It's like he had hope. There was hope in his voice, but I think he knew it was over. He just couldn't bring himself to tell Huxley, which I couldn't either. I don't fault Doug for that. It was a very hard conversation to have. After that phone call, I had to tell Huxley, you'll never talk to him again. He's not ever going to call again. And he never did. And that is what Scientology is in a nutshell. That's probably what a cult is in a nutshell. If you're not with us, then we're not for you, and you will be jettisoned. And I understand why I was, by the way. I understand that I broke the rules. I committed the highest of high crimes by going undercover and talking to the Aftermath Foundation and doing what I did. Huxley called, but Doug didn't take his call. No, Kazri, that was the last call. Huxley called and Huxley never called again. Huxley, it sounds like in that call, you hear Huxley say to Doug, did you get my text? So Huxley had been reaching out to Doug. And did you hear Doug say, I did, but I didn't really understand. And then when he says, I know you have to disconnect, it's your policy. He says, well, there's more to it than that. I don't know what you've been told. So he's not giving up any information. Do you think Doug's will work it out meant I will convince Michael to get custody of Hux and get him away from you? Probably at the time, yes. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that didn't take place. Doug and Brenda have a lot of money. They don't have a shortage of money. I always thought that they would try to get custody of Huxley through Michael and take Huxley away from me. And I'm kind of shocked that that didn't happen. I don't think it will happen at this point. That was 3 years ago. I think that I truly feel God is on my side in this one. And I think somebody stepped in and said, enough is enough. Like, these people have been through enough abuse. You're not going to do any more to make this worse. That could be, Debbie. If Huxley begged Doug to come get him and teach him Scientology, would Doug have come? No. They would have never allowed Doug back to Kansas City anywhere near us. When did Brenda quit communicating with Hux? Before or after this call? Brenda stopped communicating with Huxley 3 days after I was outed. She never talked to him again. Probably Martin. What's crazy is, again, you guys didn't really probably understand that timeline. I was outed December 24th, 2022. Or December 31st, excuse me, New Year's Eve. New Year's Day of 2023 was my whole new life. Whether I wanted it to exist or not was a whole new life for me. That was going to be a whole new path that I was not aware of. Like, I just didn't know. Every day was a new day. I was like, Am I going to hear from someone? Am I not going to hear from someone? Is the C word going to show up at my house and put me on the cans? I just didn't know. And we had to suffer through Doug coming over every day until around the first week of March. And I had to pretend to be a Scientologist with him while his family left him high and dry, disconnected from me and Huxley, and left Doug to come to my house every day. And I literally would take Jeff and yank him into the other room and go, you have to tell him. Somebody has to tell him. Somebody has to tell him that I'm an SP and I've been declared. Like, I'm starting to feel sorry for Doug, that he doesn't know. His family left him to fend for himself. He didn't know. That's another very interesting point to this whole story. Like, they don't give a shit about each other. They eat each other. If you had allowed Hux to do Scientology courses like they wanted, they may have fought harder to take him. Another win for you, Reese. Melissa, thank you. That's actually probably true. Christy Lynn Wilson says, Doug wasn't allowed to acknowledge the policy of disconnection. I'm sure that because Huxley was bringing it up, Scientology dropped an axe on the relationship. Absolutely. That could be, Rain. And Kevin says, the rage this causes is very telling. Only the cult thinks that call is okay. And I think my fear is just what's going to manifest out of all of this, whether it be now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that's going to come up. And thankfully, we're both in therapy. That's all I can do. I cannot take back what he stole from us. I cannot fix what was taken, what was done. I can just go forward. I can share this story. I hope that you will share this stream. I rarely ask you guys to do that, but when it's something like this, it's very impactful. When someone says, oh no, I don't know what Scientology is, or I think I know, I think I've heard of it. People need to know these stories. That's why our voices are very important. Even talking about gesture stuff, even all this stuff that's happened, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about. This is ugly, it's evil, and it's being done to kids. Again, if you want to F your life up and go join Scientology and you're over 18, we can't stop you. I wish you wouldn't. You should educate yourself a little more, but do not involve children. That's a no-no. Huxley did nothing wrong. He has to suffer the consequences because of my consequences. And I have to live with that. And I think it helps to unpack the cult of Doug, the abuse of Doug, and what Doug took from us, because it was definitely an us situation. It's hard for me to admit that and talk about it, but I feel like I was robbed of motherhood. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go when I peed on a pregnancy test and it was positive. I wanted him. I planned Huxley. I got pregnant intentionally. We wanted to have a child. And I was so excited for that life. And it was not what I had planned in my head. He had other plans, and Doug made me a surrogate for my own child. And it's not what I thought it was going to be. And I am trying to make a stable environment and home and motherhood to be what it is now, but it's hard to put it back together. I don't really know where to begin. And I think that's why I was having such a hard time with my words on this stream today. I really feel hate toward them. And I want to unpack that more so that it dissolves. I do not want to hate anybody, but I hate them more than anything my dad ever did to me. Because again, at least my dad was up front and said, I'm done with you. He was very clear. These people disguise themselves as loving parents and grandparents, and we're here for you, and you're our daughter, and let us give you money, and let us help you and save you from yourself. And meanwhile, that just was so insidious. They took everything from me. And Teresa says, feeling the hate right now is a healthy part of this process. I think so too. I think it will work itself out. And I don't think I will be stuck in hate. But I think they will be stuck in misery. I think they already are. And I think they know actively every day the choice that they made. And they're sick. Can I show a photo of Doug? Yeah, I showed you guys all the pictures that I saved. Kim is blue. This was the first. I love you, West Coast Fancy Nancy. Thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. This was when Huxley was an infant. Doug came and stayed at my house and just took over from there. That was Doug at a Scientology ceremony and took him from there. People came up to me and said, I wish I could have seen your son, but Doug wouldn't let me. This was at a Scientology event. This was at a birthday party for Huxley at my parents' house. They showed up for. Notice how Doug, look at the body language there. Notice how Doug pulls Huxley toward him. Look at his hand over him. He was just very possessive of him. This was picking up Sam at the airport. I couldn't have control of my own baby. He had control of him at all times. Very dominating. But yes, I will say that. That was my child's hair, and he was absolutely adorable. Huxley had the craziest hair you've ever seen. And he was a really, really cute baby. And he was a cute little kid, too. He had so much hair. I think, people say he looks like you. I see it there. His eyes look like mine there. I want to thank you for listening to this tonight. It definitely, I went into it panic mode and like fight or flight feeling, and Martin, and I feel calm now. And I want to say thank you for that gift. What did Doug's other sons think about his possessive connection? They didn't have any kind of feeling, people, places, and perspective. Same. I would say, like, this is not cool. This is not okay. Everybody bowed down to Doug. I was the only one that was like, am I the only one seeing this? Like, eventually I laid down and took it too. He was very dominating, very controlling, and he was a yeller and very aggressive. And Brenda would say, don't do that or he'll get gnarly. She always used the word gnarly. They were afraid of him. I think everybody was afraid of him and not willing to stand up at all to him. And eventually I became that person too. I'm going to be on Colts and Crims tonight in 45 minutes, and we're going to continue this conversation if that's okay. If you'd like to join us over there, you are no obligation. Do whatever you choose to do. But I want to continue this conversation over on the other channel. I appreciate everybody listening to me. This was I love you, Chow Yun Smut. Thank you, Wendy. I mean it. Thank you for being here. This was a powerful stream for me, and the show of support was intense. I love you, Sophia. Brenda is absolutely an enabler, and she's getting whatever she's getting, and all of them are, and I hate it. I don't feel sorry for any of them for being in that poor cult. You made your choice. I don't feel bad. You guys were aggressive, abusive, ugly people, and you knew what you were doing. I didn't know, and Huxley didn't know. I feel the damage done to your and Hux's bond was the worst thing done to you and Hux. It hurts my heart. The bond is sacred to be supported and honored. I am so angry about it, baby steps. I'm so angry about it. That's the biggest part for me. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your super chat. Teresa, thank you for Teresa. It meant the world to me that you were here. Oh, I love that, Joanne Holly. I'm very proud of you and the strength it took to work through this. Honey Lou, thank you for that. And I'm really happy to see you. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for your super chats, guys. It was very kind. I appreciate so much the super chats, the memberships, the gifted memberships. It really helps me and Hux. Thank you for that. Hey, Jill Turner. Thank you. It's okay, Jill. I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow on my own, of course, but I really want you to understand how much I appreciated tonight. I ended it calmly. I started it rough. It was hard for me, and we'll probably continue to talk about it. But I just want to say thank you for being a soft place that I can talk about it here. And I got through it. So thank you for listening to me. Please hit subscribe. Thank you, Kevin Conklin. While you're here, these streams mean a lot to me, and YouTube does unsubscribe you. I want you to hit subscribe, please. It's important to me that you're subscribed because I want to use my voice for these kinds of talks. Thank you. I think Gina was her name, but I can't remember. Yadira told me yesterday. Baby Steps, thank you for being here. I love you guys. I will see you over on Colts and Crims. If you don't come over there, I'll be back on my channel tomorrow. Again, just thank you for being here. It meant the world. It always does. But these kinds of streams are heavier, and I really appreciate your support. Brock Bandy, thank you for being here. I'll probably see you on Colts and Crims. Mods, thank you for tonight. I love you guys. Here comes Fred.